Every single morning, you're given a brand new chance to step into your power, to set the tone for your day, to command your energy, and to decide who the hell you're going to be today. And the truth is, the first words you speak to yourself the moment you open your eyes are the seeds you plant in your mind. Those seeds grow into your emotions, into your actions, into your destiny. So if you're going to speak, speak with power, speak with intention, speak with a fire that ignites your soul. The first thing to tell yourself is this: I am alive, and that means I am unstoppable. Because life itself is proof that possibility is on your side. You woke up today, and that's the universe handing you another chance to win. Say it with conviction. Own it. Then look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am enough. Not someday, not when I succeed, not when I look a certain way. Enough right now. You've carried yourself through storms. You've survived moments you thought would break you, and here you are, stronger than ever. You are already worthy. Next, breathe deeply and declare, today I choose power over fear. Fear is a liar. Fear shrinks people into shadows of who they were meant to be. But you weren't born for smallness. Fear will knock on your door, but courage is the one who answers. Choose courage, choose action. Tell yourself this: I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on problems, you get more problems. If you focus on possibilities, you get more opportunities. Decide in the morning that your focus is your superpower, and you'll direct it toward what makes you grow. Say it loud: I have the strength to create, to build, to transform. You're not here to be a passive character in someone else's story. You're here to write your own script, to carve your own path. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising every single time you do. Whisper it or roar it, but don't skip this: I forgive myself and I release the past. You cannot carry old weight into a new day and expect to fly. Forgiveness is freedom. Release yourself from yesterday and step into today with lighter shoulders, with open arms. Now remind yourself, I attract abundance in every form. Abundance is not just money. It's love, energy, joy, connection, opportunity. When you open your mind to abundance, you begin to notice doors that were always there, but you were too busy looking at walls. Tell yourself, I am disciplined, I am consistent, and I follow through. Success doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who act every day, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it's inconvenient. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're destined to become. Say it again and again: I am grateful for everything I have and everything on its way. Gratitude is not passive. It's the fuel that turns enough into abundance. Gratitude multiplies what you already have. When you start your day with gratitude, the world gives you more reasons to be thankful. Next, speak this into existence: I am a magnet for solutions, not problems. Problems will come, they're inevitable, but so are solutions. You are wired to create, to figure things out, to rise above. When your mind is tuned towards solutions, you turn obstacles into stepping stones. Don't forget this one: I radiate energy, confidence, and positivity wherever I go. You are not just living your life, you're influencing everyone who crosses your path. Your energy is contagious. Make sure it's the kind that uplifts, that empowers, that inspires. Finally, tell yourself today, I will live with purpose, passion, an unstoppable drive. A life without purpose is just existence. But you're not here to exist. You're here to expand, to impact, to live fully, deeply, wildly. Wake up with passion, carry yourself with purpose, and move with drive that cannot be shaken. Every morning is not just another tick on the calendar. It's a battlefield of choices. You either wake up and fall into the same patterns that kept you small yesterday, or you rise with intention, with fire, and with an unshakable declaration of who you are and what you're here to do. The moment your eyes open, the moment your feet hit the floor, that's your chance to plant seeds of greatness. That's your chance to speak into existence the life you want. And it starts with the words you give yourself, because your words shape your beliefs shape your behaviors, and your behaviors shape your destiny. The very first thing you must claim when you open your eyes is this: I am alive and I am unstoppable. Think about it. There are people who didn't get this chance today. They're done. Their race is over. But you were given breath, a beating heart, another day to fight, to love, to grow, to contribute, to conquer. When you remind yourself that life itself is the greatest gift, suddenly all the excuses you carry lose their grip. Life means possibility. Life means energy. Life means unstoppable momentum. Now, once you feel that truth, once you let it sink in, you look in the mirror and you lock eyes with yourself and you say, I am enough. Not someday, not when I hit the goal, not when I get the approval. Enough right now as you are, because the world will constantly scream that you're not enough. You're not tall enough, rich enough, good looking enough, successful enough. But here's the truth: you've already walked through storms most people would have drowned in. You've already survived nights that tried to break you. You've already risen when the weight of the world told you to stay down. That is enough. You are enough. And when you anchor yourself to that truth, you stop chasing validation and start embodying power. Then, before fear even has a chance to whisper in your ear, you declare, today I choose power over fear. Fear is a sneaky thief. It doesn't kick down the door. It creeps in subtle, quiet, convincing you that you're not ready, that you'll fail, that you'll embarrass yourself. But you were not designed to live as a hostage to fear. Fear will always be there. It's part of the human experience, but it doesn't get to be the driver of your life. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in the face of it. And when you wake up and tell yourself that fear does not control you, rob it of its power, you look fear in the eyes and say, you're coming with me, but you're not running the show. Next, you must own this. I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. Focus on problems, and your life will feel like a problem. Focus on possibilities, and your life opens up. Focus on excuses, and you'll stay stuck. Focus on opportunities, and suddenly doors start appearing that you never saw before. Every morning, you decide what you will magnify. Are you going to magnify the limitations or the opportunities? Because the truth is, what you focus on becomes your world. So speak it into yourself. I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. And the moment you say it, start proving it by choosing powerful, empowering focus points. And once you've set that focus, you reinforce it with this: I have the strength to create, to build, to transform. Strength isn't about never breaking. It's about never staying broken. Every time you've fallen, every time life has knocked you flat, you've gotten up. And that right there is proof of your strength. But strength is not just about survival. It's about creation. You have the ability to build businesses, relationships, dreams, experiences. You have the power to take what looks like chaos and shape it into something extraordinary. Every morning, remind yourself that you are not just surviving, you are creating, building, transforming. But here's the catch: you can't walk into a new day dragging the weight of yesterday. So every morning, you must tell yourself, I forgive myself, and I release the past. Carrying guilt, regret, shame. It's like trying to run a race with chains strapped to your legs. You cannot sprint toward your future if you're still chained to your past. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean excusing. It means releasing yourself so you can move freely. It means saying, I am done letting yesterday define me. I am here now, and I am ready for what's ahead. Forgiveness is the ultimate liberation. Once you let go, you make space to declare this: I attract abundance in every form. Abundance is not just money, it's energy, it's joy, it's love, it's opportunities. And here's the truth: abundance is always around you. The problem is not the lack of abundance, it's the lack of awareness. When you open your mind and body to receive, when you declare to yourself that you are a magnet for abundance, you start seeing things differently. That opportunity you used to overlook, now it shines. That connection you ignored, now it matters. Abundance multiplies when you expect it. And then as you anchor that abundance mindset, you remind yourself of the engine that makes it all real. I am disciplined, I am consistent, and I follow through. Dreams without discipline are hallucinations. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has someday goals, but very few have the discipline to show up every single day, to do the hard work, to stay consistent when the excitement wears off. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. And when you wake up and remind yourself that you are a person of discipline and follow through, you train your brain to stop negotiating with excuses. But discipline without gratitude feels empty. So every morning, speak this into your soul: I am grateful for everything I have and everything on its way. Gratitude turns enough into abundance. Gratitude transforms fear into trust. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps you centered no matter what the storm looks like outside. And when you say it, don't just rattle off words, feel it. Feel gratitude for the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the people you love, the strength you've gained, and the opportunities that are already on their way to you. Gratitude makes you magnetic to more blessings. And when challenges inevitably show up, because they will, you start the day by telling yourself, I am a magnet for solutions, not problems. Most people obsess over problems, and what happens? They get stuck in them. But you are wired for solutions. Your brain is built to solve. When you remind yourself that you attract solutions, you train yourself to see beyond the obstacle, to spot the openings, to create paths where none existed. Every great breakthrough in history started as a problem and someone who believed there was a solution. Be that someone every day. Now let's raise the energy higher. Tell yourself, I radiate energy, confidence, and positivity wherever I go. Because you're not just living your life in isolation, you're impacting everyone who comes near you. People can feel your energy before they hear your words. They can feel your confidence before they see your actions. And when you radiate positivity, when you walk into a room with energy that lifts instead of drains, you become unforgettable. You become the person others want to follow, want to learn from, want to be around. Start your morning by embodying that energy, and then seal it all with this declaration: today, I will live with purpose, passion, and unstoppable drive. Because drifting is easy, but drifting never leads to greatness. Purpose is what wakes you up in the morning. Passion is what fuels your heart. And drive is what keeps you moving when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when no one is clapping for you. Living with purpose means you're not wasting this day. It means you're squeezing everything out of it. Passion turns the ordinary into extraordinary. Drive turns obstacles into milestones. And as you repeat these declarations, don't just say them, embody them. Stand tall, breathe deep, use your voice, use your body. Because repetition with emotion is how you rewire your brain. You are programming yourself for greatness, for confidence, for resilience. This is not about motivational fluff. This is about building a mental operating system that makes success inevitable. So every single morning, before the world gets loud, before distractions come for you, before fear tries to creep back in, you take control. You plant these truths deep into your identity. You don't just say them, you own them. Because the person you tell yourself you are every morning is the person you will show up as all day long. Every morning is the beginning of a brand new chapter, not a repeat of yesterday, not a continuation of old patterns, but a chance to step into a new story, a new energy, a new identity. And when that alarm clock goes off, when your eyes open, the very first thing you do is either reclaim your power or hand it away. Most people roll out of bed already defeated, already overwhelmed, already reacting to the noise of the world. But you get to rise differently. You get to rise with intention, with fire, with conviction. You get to speak words that shape your destiny. The moment you wake up, before your feet even touch the floor, you need to declare, I am alive, and that means I am unstoppable. Think about the miracle of that truth. Out of billions of possibilities, you woke up today. Your heart is beating, your lungs are expanding, and life has given you another shot, another chance to create, to conquer, to love, to contribute. Too many people waste this truth because they forget what a gift life is. But the moment you remind yourself out loud, with power, that being alive means being unstoppable, you shift. Your energy changes. You no longer walk through the day as if it owes you something. You walk through the day as if you were chosen for it. Now, once you've claimed life itself, the next step is to look yourself in the mirror and speak with unwavering certainty, I am enough. Let those words pierce through every layer of doubt, every memory of failure, every scar of rejection. Because you've been conditioned to believe you're not enough. From the time you were young, the world tried to tell you that you had to do more, earn more, achieve more, prove more. But here's the reality: you are enough right now exactly as you are. Your scars prove your resilience. Your flaws prove your humanity. Your journey proves your strength. You are not missing anything. You are already equipped with everything you need to rise. And when you start your morning by grounding yourself in that truth, you stop chasing validation from others and start leading from within. But as soon as you acknowledge your worth, you have to confront your greatest enemy, fear. So every morning, before fear even gets a chance to whisper, you declare, today I choose power over fear. Fear is not going anywhere. It's wired into your biology. It will always try to pull you back, always try to convince you to shrink, always try to make you play small. But fear is a liar. Fear exaggerates the risk and minimizes your ability. Power, on the other hand, comes from action. Power comes from courage. Power comes from choosing to move forward even when the voice in your head screams, stop. When you wake up and remind yourself that fear is not in control, you are, something changes. You stop waiting for confidence to arrive and you start creating it through action. And here's what action is: fueled by focus. You must remind yourself daily, I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. Focus is everything. The quality of your life is determined by what you focus on. If you focus on problems, your day will feel heavy, overwhelming, impossible. If you focus on opportunities, your day will feel alive, filled with possibility, overflowing with hope. Focus turns shadows into monsters or obstacles into stepping stones. The choice is yours. Every morning, you get to decide, will I focus on what drains me or will I focus on what drives me? That decision, repeated daily, will determine whether your life expands or contracts. And once you've directed your focus, you remind yourself of the power already inside you. I have the strength to create, to build, to transform. Strength is not just about muscles or toughness. It's about resilience. It's about creativity. It's about endurance. You've already proven your strength by surviving the darkest nights, by enduring heartbreak, by pushing forward when everything in you wanted to quit. That's strength. And now, that strength is not just for survival, it's for creation. You can create a life that inspires you. You can build relationships that lift you. You can transform your pain into power. Every morning, you anchor yourself in that truth. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are strong enough to shape your world. But here's the thing, you cannot carry yesterday's baggage into today's opportunities. That's why every morning you must tell yourself, I forgive myself and I release the past. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's freedom. When you forgive yourself, you release the weight of regret, the chains of shame, the poison of guilt. You can't build a new life while dragging the carcass of the old one behind you. The past cannot be rewritten, but it can be released. And every morning is a fresh page. Forgive yourself, release the mistakes, and move forward unchained. With that freedom, you open yourself to abundance. Declare it boldly, I attract abundance in every form. Abundance is not a bank account number, it's a mindset. It's the awareness that opportunities surround you, that love is available, that joy is within reach, that energy is renewable. Most people miss abundance not because it isn't there, but because they're not tuned into it. When you start your morning by affirming that you attract abundance, you rewire your brain to notice it. You begin to see doors where others only see walls. You become magnetic to opportunities, to ideas, to connections. But abundance without action is wasted. That's why every morning you remind yourself, I am disciplined, I am consistent, and I follow through. Discipline is the backbone of success. Anyone can be motivated when it's exciting. Anyone can show up when it's easy, but discipline means showing up even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. Discipline means honoring your commitments to yourself. And when you start your day affirming your discipline, you condition your brain to reject excuses and honor progress. Then you fuel the discipline with the highest frequency emotion, gratitude. Say it with energy, I am grateful for everything I have and everything on its way. Gratitude transforms your state instantly. It shifts you from lack to abundance, from fear to faith, from complaint to celebration. Gratitude reminds you that no matter what challenges lie ahead, you are already blessed beyond measure. Gratitude multiplies. The more you feel it, the more you attract reasons to feel it. Start your day with gratitude, and the world will open itself to you. And when obstacles inevitably appear, you don't crumble. You remind yourself, I am a magnet for solutions, not problems. This declaration rewires your entire response system. Instead of panicking, instead of spiraling, you rise. You look at problems as opportunities in disguise. You remind yourself that your brain is built to solve, to create, to innovate. Problems are not walls, they are invitations to grow. And when you tell yourself daily that you attract solutions, you stop being the person who gets stuck and start being the person who finds a way. And as you walk into the world, your energy becomes your calling card. So every morning you must remind yourself, I radiate energy, confidence, and positivity wherever I go. People don't remember your words nearly as much as they remember how you made them feel. Your energy precedes you. It announces you before you speak. And when you radiate confidence, positivity, and passion, people gravitate toward you. You inspire them without even trying. You become a lighthouse in a world filled with storms. And then to tie it all together, to fuel it with fire, you declare today, I will live with purpose, passion, and unstoppable drive. Because life without purpose is empty. Passionless days are wasted days. And drive is the engine that makes everything possible. When you live with purpose, you stop wandering aimlessly and start walking with direction. When you live with passion, you stop settling for mediocrity and start demanding greatness. When you live with unstoppable drive, nothing can hold you down, not doubt, not fear, not failure. And as you speak these truths, as you embody them, as you feel them, something inside you shifts. These are not empty affirmations. These are commands to your subconscious, orders to your nervous system, rewiring of your very identity. You are not just repeating words, you are programming yourself for greatness. Every morning when that alarm clock sounds, it's not just a noise, it's life shaking you awake saying, what are you going to do with this chance? Most people hit snooze. Most people roll over. Most people surrender to mediocrity before the day even begins. But not you. You are not most people. You've been given breath, energy, and a new opportunity. The way you start is the way you set the tone. Your mornings are not meant to be sluggish. They are meant to be sacred. They are meant to be electric. They are meant to be the foundation for a day that builds momentum, power, and unstoppable drive. And it all begins with your words. Words are not just sounds. They are incantations. They shape your mind. They direct your energy. They define your state. You've got to speak life into yourself before the world tries to speak limitations over you. Because the truth is, if you don't program your mind in the morning, your environment will program it for you. And your environment will never demand greatness from you. It will demand conformity. That's why every morning you must rise and declare truths that pull you higher. The very first declaration is this, I am alive, and that means I am unstoppable. Think about what those words mean. Do you realize how many people didn't wake up this morning? Their race is over. Their chance is gone. But you've been chosen for another round. And that's not random. That's not accidental. That's proof that your mission isn't finished, that your story isn't done, that your impact is still unfolding. Being alive is not something to take for granted. It's a mandate to live with urgency. When you wake up and remind yourself that life itself is proof of your strength, suddenly all the noise, all the complaints, all the excuses lose their grip. You stand taller. You breathe deeper. You realize as long as I've got breath, I've got fight. Then you walk to that mirror, you lock eyes with yourself, and you say the words that transform insecurity into certainty, I am enough. You've got to feel this one. You've got to own it, because the world will try to tell you you're not. Your past will whisper that you're not. Your doubts will scream that you're not. But the fact is you are. You've overcome more than you give yourself credit for. You've survived heartbreaks, failures, betrayals, and you're still standing. You've grown stronger in ways most people can't even comprehend. Enough doesn't mean you've got it all figured out. It means you've already got what it takes to rise, to grow, to win. When you affirm that you are enough, you take back your power from the world and you anchor it within yourself. And the moment you anchor your worth, you face the voice of fear. Fear will show up every day. Fear will try to slow you down. Fear will try to talk you out of your dreams. So before fear can even speak, you declare, today I choose power over fear. Fear has no expiration date. It will always exist. But here's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Successful people feel the fear and move anyway. They refuse to give it control. They refuse to let it dictate their choices. Fear shrinks when you step forward. Fear dissolves when you take action. And power multiplies, power grows. Power expands when you choose it again and again. So every morning, remind yourself that fear doesn't drive the car, you do. Now here's where the magic happens. I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. This is not theory, this is science. Your brain is a filtering machine out of millions of pieces of information bombarding you every second. It only lets in what you focus on. Focus on lack, and you'll find lack everywhere. Focus on opportunities, and you'll discover them in places you never thought to look. Focus on negativity, and your world becomes heavy. Focus on gratitude, and your world becomes light. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances, you are at the mercy of your focus. And the good news, focus is a choice. So every morning you tell yourself, I will direct my focus toward what empowers me, not what imprisons me. And when you take control of your focus, you ignite your strength. Say it with force, I have the strength to create, to build, to transform. You've got strength you haven't even tapped into yet. Strength doesn't show up in comfort, it shows up in struggle. Strength isn't forged in easy days, it's forged in fire. Every scar, every trial, every failure has been proof of your strength. But strength is not just about survival, it's about creation. You have the strength to create new habits, to build new dreams, to transform your identity. You are not locked into who you were yesterday. You are not chained to your past. You are the architect of your future, and every morning is your construction site. But here's a truth most people ignore. You cannot build a new future while dragging old baggage. That's why you must remind yourself, I forgive myself and I release the past. Forgiveness is not about pretending nothing happened. It's about deciding not to let what happened control you anymore. It's about releasing the weight of shame, regret, and guilt so you can move freely. Every morning you get a fresh page. The past can teach you, but it cannot define you. Release it. Let it go. Free yourself so you can step into today with clear eyes and open hands. And with that freedom, you attract something powerful. I attract abundance in every form. Abundance is everywhere. It's in the opportunities waiting to be seized. It's in the people who are ready to connect with you. It's in the ideas waiting to be born through you. Abundance doesn't mean life is always easy. It means life is always full. The question is, are you tuned in to see it? When you wake up and remind yourself that you attract abundance, you shift your awareness. Suddenly, you notice the door that was always there, but you ignored. Suddenly, you recognize the opportunity hiding inside the obstacle. Abundance multiplies in the life of the person who expects it. But expectation without execution is worthless. That's why you need to declare, I am disciplined, I am consistent, and I follow through. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Discipline is doing what you said you'd do long after the mood has left you. Motivation is fragile, it's fleeting. But discipline is solid. Discipline is reliable. Discipline is a promise you keep to yourself. And every morning, when you remind yourself of your discipline, you're not just speaking words, you're affirming an identity. You're saying, I am the kind of person who shows up no matter what. And when you live from that identity, results are inevitable. But discipline without gratitude feels hollow. That's why you must charge yourself with this. I am grateful for everything I have and everything on its way. Gratitude is not a passive feeling, it's a state of power. Gratitude says, even before the blessing arrives, I already celebrate it. Gratitude says, what I have is already enough, and because I honor it, more is coming. Gratitude transforms fear into faith and struggle into growth. And the most powerful mornings are those that begin with gratitude. Because when you're grateful, you can't be angry. When you're grateful, you can't be fearful. When you're grateful, you can't be small. Gratitude expands you. And when challenges arise, and they will, you remind yourself, I am a magnet for solutions, not problems. Problems are guaranteed. Struggle is guaranteed. But so are solutions. So are breakthroughs. So are victories. And the way you train your mind to see solutions is by affirming it daily. Instead of spiraling into panic, you anchor yourself in resourcefulness. You become the kind of person who doesn't just face problems, you solve them. And that mindset changes everything. Now, as you walk into your day, you cannot afford to carry dull energy. That's why you speak this. I radiate energy, confidence, and positivity wherever I go. Energy is contagious. People feel it before they hear you. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about certainty. Positivity isn't about ignoring reality, it's about choosing a state that empowers you and those around you. When you radiate energy, confidence, and positivity, You don't just live your life, you influence lives around you. You become a leader by default, a force that others can't ignore. And then to fuel the fire and anchor your mission, you declare today, I will live with purpose, passion, and unstoppable drive. Purpose gives you direction. Passion gives you fire. Drive gives you momentum. Without purpose, you drift. Without passion, you burn out. Without drive, you stall. But when you combine all three, you become unstoppable. Purpose turns pain into meaning. Passion turns effort into joy. Drive turns obstacles into stepping stones. And when you start your day with that declaration, you're not just preparing for another ordinary day, you're preparing for a day of impact, of expansion, of greatness. And here's the truth: repetition is power. The more you speak these affirmations, the more they sink into your subconscious. The more you repeat them, the more your nervous system adapts. The more you embody them, the more they become your identity. This is not about saying nice words. It's about programming yourself for greatness. It's about creating a ritual that fuels your spirit, directs your energy, and aligns your life with the person you're destined to become. Every single morning, the first few minutes are sacred. They're the ignition of your engine. They're the fork in the road that determines whether you walk into the day as a creator or a captive. Most people underestimate the power of those first thoughts, those first words. They reach for their phone, they scroll, they consume noise, and before they even brush their teeth, they've surrendered their state to the world. But leaders, visionaries, warriors, people who demand greatness from themselves, they don't start with distraction, they start with declaration. They start by commanding their mind, their body, and their spirit. They start by telling themselves who they are before the world tries to tell them who to be. And that's why you begin with this, I am alive, and that means I am unstoppable. Let that sink into every cell, because life itself is not guaranteed. It's a privilege. Too often we act like tomorrow is promised, like next year is guaranteed. But the truth, the only guarantee you have is right now. The very fact that you woke up is proof that you still have purpose, proof that you still have power, proof that you still have possibilities waiting for you. So when you wake up and declare your aliveness as fuel, you're reminding yourself, if I'm here, then I'm here to win. If I'm here to rise. That one declaration takes you out of victimhood and into victory. And after you breathe in that truth, you look at yourself, really look, and you affirm, I am enough. Feel those words, not as a whisper, but as a roar, because the world is built to make you doubt yourself. Every advertisement, every comparison, every judgment you've faced has been designed to convince you that you're lacking something. But you are not lacking. You are loaded. You've been equipped with resilience, intelligence, creativity, strength, and heart. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be unleashed. And when you start your day with the reminder that you are enough, you stop living life from a place of desperation and start living from a place of power. Then you face the shadow fear. Fear is always there. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear isn't there to stop you. Fear is there to challenge you. And every morning you meet it with this declaration: today, I choose power over fear. You remind yourself that fear will knock on your door every day, but courage decides who walks in. Fear can sit in the back seat, but it doesn't get to touch the wheel. Because when you choose power, you choose action. You choose progress, you choose movement. And momentum is the antidote to fear. Fear loses its grip the moment you take that first step. Now, once you've set yourself in motion, you direct the most important force you have: focus. You affirm, I control my focus, and my focus creates my reality. Think about it. The richest soil in the world can grow weeds just as easily as it grows crops. Your mind is that soil. Focus is the seed. And whatever you plant, that's what multiplies. Focus on what you don't have, and you'll multiply lack. Focus on what could go wrong, and you'll multiply fear. But focus on possibilities, and you'll multiply opportunities. Focus on growth, and you'll multiply strength. Every morning, you choose where to aim the laser of your focus, and that decision shapes everything. And with that laser focus, you fuel it with strength. Say it loud: I have the strength to create, to build, to transform. You've already proven your strength 1,000 times. Think about it. You've walked through pain, through rejection, through disappointments, and you're still here. That's strength. But it's not just survival strength. It's creation strength. You've got the power to create new routines, new standards, new visions for your life. You've got the power to build businesses, relationships, and legacies. You've got the power to transform pain into purpose, mistakes into mastery, struggles into stories of triumph. That's not wishful thinking. That's who you already are. And when you remind yourself of it daily, you unlock energy that most people never touch. But let's be real. You can't create something new while dragging the dead weight of yesterday. That's why you must declare, I forgive myself and I release the past. Too many people wake up and bring yesterday's failures into today's opportunities. They replay mistakes. They rehearse regrets. They relive guilt. And that's like trying to sprint while carrying chains. You can't move. You can't breathe. Forgiveness is not saying it didn't matter. Forgiveness is saying it will not control me anymore. Forgiveness is freedom, and when you start every morning releasing the past, you make space for the future, and what fills that space? Abundance. Declare it, I attract abundance in every form, abundance of energy, abundance of love, abundance of opportunities, abundance of joy, abundance of financial prosperity. Abundance is not about greed, it's about growth. It's about expanding your capacity to give, to live, to experience. But abundance starts in the mind. If you believe life is scarce, you'll always feel empty. If you believe life is abundant, you'll always find more. You attract what you expect. And when you expect abundance every morning, you tune yourself to see it everywhere. But here's the truth, abundance without discipline is wasted. That's why you follow it up with this, I am disciplined, I am consistent, and I follow through. Anybody can set goals, anybody can get motivated for a week. But discipline is what separates dreamers from achievers. Discipline means showing up when it's boring. Discipline means keeping promises when no one is watching. Discipline means building habits that carry you when motivation fades. And consistency compounds. Small actions done daily create massive results. Follow through is the bridge between intention and transformation. Every morning, you remind yourself that you are not someone who quits, you are someone who finishes. But even discipline is empty if it isn't rooted in gratitude. That's why you fuel your morning with, I am grateful for everything I have and everything on its way. Gratitude flips the script. Gratitude says, even before I get the breakthrough, I celebrate the fact that it's coming. Gratitude says, even if I don't have everything I want yet, I already have more than enough to be alive, to be strong, to be powerful. Gratitude multiplies blessings because it sharpens your vision. You start to notice the good that was already there. You stop overlooking the miracles. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a state of wealth. And then, because life will test you, because problems are guaranteed, you must program your response. I am a magnet for solutions, not problems. Most people drown in their problems because they obsess over them. They tell themselves, this is too big, this is impossible, I'm stuck. But solutions exist for every problem. History proves it. Progress proves it. Innovation proves it. And when you tell yourself that you attract solutions, you train your brain to search, to innovate, to persist until the answer appears. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as detours to better paths. Now here's where it gets powerful. I radiate energy, confidence, and positivity wherever I go. You don't just wake up for yourself, you wake up for the world. Your family feels your energy. Your colleagues feel your confidence. Strangers feel your positivity. Energy is contagious. Walk into a room with low energy and people sink. Walk in with high energy and people rise. Confidence is not arrogance. It's certainty. It's the unshakable belief that you belong in the arena. Positivity is not naivety. It's power. It's choosing to see light when others only see darkness. Every morning, you affirm that you radiate these forces and you become a walking beacon of influence. And finally, you declare the fire that ties it all together. Today, I will live with purpose, passion, and unstoppable drive. Purpose is your compass. Passion is your fuel. Drive is your engine. Without purpose, life feels empty. Without passion, effort feels heavy. Without drive, progress stalls. But when you live with all three, you become unstoppable. Purpose turns even the hardest days into meaningful ones. Passion makes the grind feel like a gift. Drive makes obstacles irrelevant because you refuse to stop. And when you speak that declaration every morning, you don't just prepare for a day, you prepare for destiny. This is not about saying nice words. This is about commanding your identity. This is about programming your nervous system to rise higher every single day. This is about building a morning ritual so powerful that it doesn't just change your day, it changes your life. When you repeat these truths with intensity, with emotion, with energy, they stop being affirmations and start becoming your reality. So when you rise tomorrow and every morning after, don't just wake up. Command yourself into greatness. Don't drift through the day hoping life gives you a break. Decide that you will break through. Every declaration is not just words, it's the construction of who you are becoming. You are not here to play small. You are not here to just exist. You are here to expand, to lead, to give, to create, to conquer. The world doesn't need another person waiting for permission. It needs you fully alive, fully awake, fully unleash it. So stand tall, breathe deep, and step forward with fire in your eyes, because today is not just another day. It is your day, your chance, your moment to claim everything you were made for.